Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Love Beyond the Walls. I am your host, Nicole Ray, and I am so excited to be back with you for another Saturday. Listen, y'all, it is February, and y'all know what that means. It is Love Month. Now, listen, we're not going to fight with me. I understand it is also Black History Month, but it is also a month that represents love. And so, what we are going to do all month long is I have guest after guest after guest who is going to be talking to us about love. And I mean, it's kind of the theme of the show, Loving Beyond the Walls. So I'm very excited today because we're going to start our conversation on love off with a beautiful woman of God who is newly engaged. And we're going to be having today a conversation about how to live out your single life, what to do, how to prepare to be a woman or a man who is ready to be married, how to just tread through that. Because I know they out there, ladies. I know you out there, you looking for your husbands, you are looking for your wives. Come on in the room so you can get some tips. I want to encourage you and thank you, first of all, for tuning in today and encourage you to like, share, subscribe, tell somebody that this is the place that you need to be because we are going to have an amazing conversation. Listen, I also want you to feel free to comment during the session. I want you to interact. We love a good talk back church over here. So we want to hear from you as we're going through this show. Amen. All right. So without further ado, y'all know I don't like to belabor the point. I want to bring to the stage my guest for today, Miss Brea Chew. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
All right, we ready to get into this. Now, let me tell y'all something. Brea is a soft-spoken, quiet person who normally plays the back, but we have called her to the front. Come on over here because we need you to help the men and women of God in this season. Especially, one of the things I've understood is that this month can sometimes be difficult for individuals who are single because, most single people aspire to have companionship, and then there are some who don't want it at all, and that's all right, whatever works. But for those who do desire companionship, sometimes when we get to the month of February, it can be a little disheartening, and all of the things. So we want to encourage you today, though, first to tell you that we love you, but also to just, build your spirit in how do I navigate this season of singleness that God has me in. So before we get into all that conversation and all that razzle dazzle, Brea, could you do me a favor and introduce yourself to the people?
Yes, of course. My name is Brea Chew. I am, first off, thank you for having me, Nicole. I'm really excited. I've never done a podcast, but I'm really excited. I am a part of a women's ministry called This Girl Has Oil. I am the experience director with This Girl Has Oil. I also work at Johns Hopkins Health Systems in management. I've been at Johns Hopkins for about 10 years. I have my bachelor's in biology. I'm working on my master's in business. I also am newly engaged, like Nicole said. So in the process of planning a wedding and wearing a lot of hats right now. So yes, that's a little bit about me.
That is so exciting, yes, because I love to see it. Just all of the things that we're able to accomplish, and as women, we always wearing a lot of hats. So you might as well go ahead and get used to it because now you're going to be wearing the wife hat, one day the mother hat, and all of the other, all the other things. And just a little cheat code: when you become a wife, you become the nurse. You become the secretary. You gonna be chef. You gonna become a lot of things as a wife. Amen. So we bless the Lord for that. But thank you so much for just giving us the introduction. Now I love to ask this question to every single person who comes on the show because different people have different views of this. But what does it mean to you, Brea, to love beyond the walls?
So love beyond the walls, I think to me, it means to love authentically, like to genuinely just when you can genuinely be yourself, when he can be himself. Like that's to me what love beyond the walls is like authentic, genuine love.
I love it. See, and see, this is exactly why I always ask everybody the same question because I feel like different people use different words, like that word authentic, that word genuine. It basically describes like it is ours, it's real,
Mhm.
it's rooted.
Yes.
It's something that can only be my own. And so, yes, okay. I love that. Authentic and genuine. All right. So, when we think about this conversation of, singleness and, with this month, like, can you share a little bit with us about your testimony concerning your single journey and getting ready to get married and just talk to us a little bit about it, Bria?
Yes, of course. So I was single for a very long time before I met my fiance Terrence. Um, I was single for about 6 years. So very long time, very long journey. And my journey of singleness was at first it was hard. Like it was like, you're getting older, you're looking for something, you know what you want, but it's not working. And I think once I got to a point where I was like, I'm just going to focus on myself. I'm going to focus on my faith. That's when it
Mm,
was like, okay, he found me. That's how it was. But being single it did have like its ups and downs because I think no, of course, no woman getting older wants to be alone. But at the same time, it gives you time with yourself, like to sit with yourself, to learn yourself, to really be like, to love yourself. Like, it really, like, I think that for me, like, coming into from singleness to a relationship, I had to get out of my single girl phase. Like I was like, because I was so independent in my single girl. And it gets to a point where you're single for a long time, you begin to love that part of you. You're like, okay, I'm good. Like I like this part of me. Like, and coming into a relationship, it was definitely a bit of a adjustment. It's because now you don't just got to think about yourself. Like it ain't just about you. Like it's about
mhm,
the other person. So I think that was definitely probably the hardest thing, going from single to a relationship. Like
mhm,
really having to just think about somebody else, share your space with someone else is not it wasn't easy for me. It was not. Like my single girl experience was for the most part, like I said, towards the end, it was like, okay, I like being single. Like this is okay. I'm okay with this.
mhm. Yeah. I mean, there's pros and cons to either situation, right? When you think about being single, you could get up and go whenever you want to.
Mhm,
Like your money is your money. You can do what you want to do with it. You can spend it on who, what, when, where, why, and how. Like anything you feel like you want to do, you're at liberty to do versus when you're in a relationship, that those liberties are gone because like you said, now you have to consider someone else's feelings.
mhm,
You have to consider their time. They want to not even just take up space, but they're taking up time that you may
mhm,
have previously had reserved for you. They're pulling on you because they need your emotional and mental capacity. Where before you could be like, like, nope,
mhm.
if I
Yeah.
had it for you, I don't have it for you. So, what would you say are when a woman or man is single and they're kind of in that process of just waiting on God, seeing what He's going to do? What are some of the things that you feel like you did to learn who you were, or learn like your likes, dislikes, so on and so forth?
Okay, definitely a few things. So I started like just doing things outside my comfort zone. Like I was like, okay, I need to like meet new people, like go out with different people. Like I'm so used to just like being around people that look like me. Like let me, go out, try some new things, like have a good time and not just be by myself. I can be a bit of a loner. So like really kind of going outside of that, like was like, okay, I know I need to do this to see what I like. And so I definitely did that. Like started like making friends with people like like I said, who don't look like me, who do different things like at work. Like I built so many relationships at work with like different women, that from all different walks of life, and some older, some younger, like just like really kind of like thinking outside of the box, like, and not just being so, just narrow like thinking. um I would say like the second thing I did was like really start to really build my faith, like, and because being single and trusting that someone, I am gonna one day find someone, I had to trust God first. So
Mm-hmm.
I really started building my faith. I started like going to different churches, really seeking a church home. And I think that was one of the biggest parts of my journey, like really doing that on my own, like just really finding a church that really fit for me. And that was a beautiful thing for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can remember prior to meeting my husband. I've been down this road. We've all been here at
Hmm.
some point, right?
Hmm.
In the single place, and the Lord was gracious and kind enough to let me write a book about that process of how we build up and get to the place of being married, and it's called Married Before Marriage, because one of the things I learned, I mean, it sounds like you learned it too, is that before we ever even get married to a man or married to a woman, we are first married to God. Like he tells us that we are, in fact, the bride of Christ. And
Hmm.
so, I have this whole thing in my mind. It's like called like the independent dependent movement, where we as women, specifically, have to understand that, like, yeah, we could be independent, we can have our own cars, houses, jobs, like be able to take care of ourselves, but we also need to learn how to depend. And I was just talking to a
Yeah.
client recently about the fact that, like, I feel like culturally, the way that we have been raised, particularly in this like millennial generation, it's like, be independent, take care of yourself. Even Gen X, like, do what you gotta do. Don't rely on no man for nothing. And in a way, it's almost kind of like messed us up, because now we're so self-reliant
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
we don't know how to depend on a man. But like,
Yeah.
from your perspective, like, how did you learn to practice dependence on God?
Mm, I think so. Learn how to practice dependence on God. I had to really, really submit to God. Like I really did, and submit to like knowing that it's all like there is a plan. I don't know it, but He does, and just really be like really having to trust that, like really having to trust in my faith, trust in God, and just being like just knowing that I know like something is in store for me, something good, something great is in store for me. And I just had to trust. I had to like really, really submit and not overthink, not be in my own head, not go crazy over it, like, and just really submit. I really had to. And that was so hard. Like, it really was like just because that blind faith, but you have to
Mhm.
like, but you have to have it. And I'm telling the single women that it will work out. Like it will,
Mhm.
like trust God and it will work out. Your partner, your person will find you. Like
Mhm.
he really will.
Yep. And you know what I think, like when I was listening to you talk just now, it made me think about like that word hope. Sometimes when you've been waiting a long time,
Mm-hmm.
to be in a relationship, to find they call them Boaz or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
you're waiting. Sometimes you can get hopeless, especially if you've been waiting
Mm-hmm.
a long time. Um, it can be difficult, and being rooted in your faith is the thing that I feel like provides hope, and also listening and learning and being connected to people who are getting married. Like there was a girl online, uh um her Instagram handle is like just witty. I think her name is Whitney or what have you. And she's had a single ministry for like years. I mean, and she kind of she turned it into comedy because here's the thing: not only was she single, but she's also a single Christian woman,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we understand that being a single Christian woman also comes with a little bit of extra razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
Now you're trying also not to sin and not to fall into fornication or lust or
Mm-hmm.
masturbation or all of the various different things
Yeah.
that are available.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so beautiful to see. She ended up getting married, I think, in like the last year and a half, and like seeing things like that,
Mm-hmm.
are things that can bring and restore hope to individuals who are, waiting and watching,
Mm-hmm.
looking at the clock, like, Lord, when is it going to happen?
Yes.
When are you going to do it for me? But what I also love is that I'm starting to see now there's more community that's being built around individuals who are single. So can you talk a
Mm-hmm.
little bit about like what was it like for you in terms of developing community as a single woman?
Mm. I think so. Luckily for me, a lot of my friends, like me and my friends, are like have been going through the same journeys together. A lot of us, like a few of my friends, literally are engaged right now. So like we all got engaged at the same time. Three of my friends. Um, so for me, like having my good girlfriends and being able to go through singleness together, and that's the beauty of sisterhood, right? Like, and all your sister, all of us might not go through the same thing, because my best friend has been married for a long time, like have been married for 6 years, and but but having my single friends, it's like it's a different type of bond, right? Like it's like, okay, yes, we're going through this together. Like we in this together. We in these trenches together. Like so I think that's a big part of my community, is my really, really good girlfriends, and really bond. Like one of my friends who literally got engaged a month after me, like we really bonded over being like singleness together. Like we were really going through a lot of the same things like together, like, and it's beautiful to see that we're both engaged now, and literally like our fiancés are like the same person too. So now we're still going through it together. But yes, I feel like you always have those few girls who just get it, who just have gone through everything, every phase with you, and gone through it together. And that was really my community, my really, really good friends. And now like we're getting married. It's crazy.
And it's not to say that a married person can't hang out with a single person
Not at all.
or vice versa, but there
Right.
is something to be said about having people who are in the same experience surrounding you and
Mm-hmm.
being able to encourage you, especially when
Mm-hmm.
again if you're waiting,
Yeah.
this year, and I can openly say it, this year I'm going to be 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the majority of my crew
Mm-hmm.
is between 35, and I hang out with a lot of older people, so 55, 56, 60. You know
Same.
what I'm saying? So like when single at those ages, like you start to feel, we understand that we're not young spring chickens anymore. Everything may
Mhm.
not be tight and sitting like it used to sit, and the enemy likes to play on our mind. And when we think about right loving beyond the walls, I even
Mhm.
think that there's a necessity to be able to love your own self beyond those walls. Like, do you find like, can you talk to like the woman who might struggle with limitations in her mind and even like that
Mhm.
negative self-talk about why
Mhm.
they're single?
Mm. Because that's real, right? Like your mind can play the craziest tricks on you, and I think that really, like, you just like being confident in your own skin, like, and really just like trying, like, loving yourself. But honestly, like, for me in my 20s, like, I was in therapy. Like, I really wanted to have help, because it's hard going through things by yourself. Like, it's hard to sometimes, like, especially when you see all these, you see people, progressing so much on social media. You see women getting married, you see women in relationships, and it's like you really start to doubt yourself. Like, you really do. And ultimately, like, everybody's journey is their own journey. And loving yourself, like, when you really, really love yourself, like, and find that love in yourself, it never goes away. Like,
Mhm.
love yourself for who you really are, because we are all so beautiful and unique and genuine, just authentic in our own way. Like, really loving yourself is it that will take you so far.
Mhm.
Just that alone will take you so far. But like I said, I needed help with that. Like, I did. I was in therapy for a while, like, with learning how to really, really just be okay with me. Like, be like, okay, this is me. You got to be with yourself before anybody. Like,
Mhm.
and to love yourself, like, it really is a beautiful thing. So yes.
Mhm. I love that. And I love that you mentioned the idea of going to therapy, because people, therapy is for you. Like a lot of people say,
Mhm.
"Oh, I don't need therapy. I don't need to talk to nobody." Eh, I can make an argument that all of us, even the most jolly go lucky person, has something that you could go to therapy to work
Mhm.
with. Because the reality is that, when we think about like dating and relationships, they don't just start when you get older. Like they start when
Mhm.
we're kids. Once we come into that
Right.
awareness of seeing someone that we think is cute, like from that moment when, and it nowadays it strikes way too young. But
Mhm.
but
Yes.
but
Yes.
but when it strikes, I could think about going all the way back to middle school, and I wasn't allowed to date. I wasn't allowed to really have interests or love interests or anything like that. Like my parents weren't playing none of that.
Mhm.
And I can remember though, but it didn't stop me from thinking someone was attractive or someone thinking
Right.
that I was attractive. And I remember, mom, just if you watching, just bless the Lord. Okay, we made it. We're here now. We're not gonna go back. Okay, but I remember having me a little boyfriend or whatever, or what I call my
Mhm.
boyfriend. But I wouldn't kiss him. I wouldn't do any of the things that like
Call a house.
nothing. Right?
Mhm.
Well, don't you know somebody came in and swooped him in. And so like from that very young age, it started to like create a mentality in me like, okay, well, if you're gonna have a boyfriend, they're gonna expect you to be sexually performative. And if you're not gonna be, and so when you think about like this waiting game and the loving yourself, like you start building this character or this persona around your dating life, even from a young age. You have experiences that get ingrained in your
Mhm.
mind. I can remember being in high school and being a chunkier girl, and then when I lost a bunch of weight, all of a sudden then all the boys wanted me, but y'all wasn't checking for me when I was a little bit thicker. But then as soon as I
Mhm.
lost weight and it was all right in the right places, then you all wanted to be on my head.
Right.
So then that
Mhm.
kind of created this thing in my mind where it's like, okay, I'm only attractive if I'm skinny.
Mhm.
So then
Mhm.
when I wasn't skinny anymore, it was like, well, now I'm no longer attractive. And those are those things, those lies that we end up having to work through.
Mhm.
I'm so glad because, like, ladies or even gentlemen, because men go through this as well.
Mhm.
We have to get to a place where we can start tearing down these walls,
Yeah.
and not just be overcome with, the things, because there's always something, right?
Mhm. Yes. Yeah.
So, I want to kind of transition a little bit, and I want to talk a little bit about, this you mentioned earlier, meeting people. And
Mhm.
one of the things that we understand is true is, a lot of times men or women alike, they want to
Mhm.
be found, they want to date, but they don't go nowhere,
Mhm.
do nothing. They not talking to nobody
Yeah.
to be found.
Mhm.
So, like, what are some of the places that you feel like you went that helped you to be in a place to be found?
Mm. Okay. Um. So I would say like I've met people at a few different places, but um I've gone like just doing things like going to like your friend's homecoming or something, meeting a whole bunch of different people there, like, or um let's see, like me and Terrence, we met actually through my best friend. So that was kind of a different scenario because
But
actually my
that's a
best
real one.
friend.
Hmm. I said, but that's a real one. A lot of times, especially
Hmm.
as we get older, you meet through other people.
Yeah, so it was like I went to her family, went just met her family, and he's her cousin. That's how we met. So just from being around her family, going to her family events, and like, but I have met people like at like going out to like maybe like a lounge or something, like listen, like you going to like a museum, things like that, just like really getting out and really just and you want to meet people that are that look that you know what type of person you want to meet. So you want to meet people that are like minded. If you really like music, if you really like arts, like go out to those places. See if there are like music festivals going on, or if there are some art festivals going on. Like go out to those places and really meet new people. Like you gotta put yourself out there. Like that's you're not gonna meet them at home. Like you just not like, or you're not.
Mhm.
And I don't think you should want to meet nobody at work. Like I don't know. Like some people meet at work, but for me, I feel like working together and being together, that's a lot. Like, and then if it don't work out, you don't know how that's gonna end. So
Yeah.
I would not recommend work. I would not recommend work. I've been there and it did not work. It did not end well. Like it did not. But yeah, you have to get out of your comfort zone. Like go do some fun stuff. Even go to a new city, go to DC, like do some fun stuff and be open too. Like because a lot of time people can tell that you're closed off just from your body language. Like be
Mm.
open, like be don't just be so closed off. Like be open to new things coming in your life.
Yeah. And we got to work on those resting faces. Hallelujah.
Yes.
Sometimes.
We have to. Sometimes you gotta look at yourself in the mirror, like what I look like because if somebody's always telling you like, oh, you need to smile more or something like that, like sometimes it can be frustrating, but sometimes you gotta listen. You gotta listen because like maybe you do need to smile. Like look at yourself. You never know. Of course, a lot of times we don't mean anything by our faces, but they can like that's the first thing someone sees when they meet you. So
Hmm. Or people are always like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
yeah.
People are constantly asking you if you're okay. That is an indication that you look like you're not okay, which means something on your face.
Some don't look right.
It's so mean. I'm not safe. I'm not happy. I'm not whatever. And I mean, I get it. No one's gonna sit around and just be like,
Right.
we're not asking you to be creepy. We're just
Hmm.
saying, you have to be aware of your face. Sometimes we're focused and whatever. But like, I love that you say, like, get out, go places, and I think it's so adorable that you are marrying your your best friend's cousin. But that's a real thing, right? The older we get, that's how you meet people. You meet
Yeah.
people through other people that they know, going to people's birthday parties. You
Hmm.
know, that's just the way of it is. And see, you know what I love about that, because that's what I like to call referral dating. You understand
Okay.
what I'm saying? Because now what I can get is a referral. Give me the real skinny on this individual before
Yes.
I waste my time. The dating
Hmm.
app's cool, all this, that, and third. But if I'm meeting somebody through somebody, that gives me an opportunity to be like, "Hey, now, I'm gonna say this though: if you look at somebody else, be honest. Don't be trying
Hmm.
to lie and
Listen,
sugar.
no, because it's gonna come out. Like it's gonna come out. So yes, be honest. Like
Be honest. Don't try to lie. Don't try to sugarcoat. But I think that is a great way for people to meet. Now, I want to ask you another question because, right, you talked about being found. Right, the Bible says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing."
mm,
Uh,
hmm.
how did you prepare yourself? Like, what kind of things did you do to prepare yourself to be a wife so that when you were found, you were her?
Mm, yes. I think subconsciously I feel like I've always like prepared myself. Like
Mm,
I think that like I've always envisioned the type of wife that I want to be. I know I'm just like naturally like a I take care of people. Like that's just like naturally. I mean, it's just naturally who women are,
mhm,
in general. Like we love to take care of people, and I've always known that when I got married, I want to be a great cook for my husband. I want to keep I want to make sure that our houses together. Like I want a very traditional marriage. Like,
okay.
so learning how to cook, like I could not cook in my early 20s. I could not cook at all. Like that was like something like I could not, like I had to really, really like stand in the kitchen, watch my sister cook. Gave me a million recipes, like, and Nicole, now I can throw down.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like,
I'm sitting here like, man, who would have known she couldn't cook? Because you be cooking now.
I could not. So that was one thing that I was like, I'm gonna have to listen. If I'm gonna find a man, I gotta feed him. Like,
Mm,
so really, and that was something that like when me and Terrence first just started, like not even dating, just like I want to say just like being friends, I would feed them. Like I'd be like, "Oh, you want to come over? Just come get this plate. I got some extra food." Like that was something I was like okay, yeah, like
that cheat code, cheat code, cheat code. Just come on over here, get this plate real quick. You can just go.
like I'm just whipping something up. You can come over and get some Alfredo.
That is a cheat code if I ever heard one. Come get a plate. And you know what? You are not the first woman I have ever heard say that they just like, yeah, just come get a plate. No strings
Yeah,
attached. Just come get a
no,
little something to eat. I got a little something for you.
I know you hungry. Like I know you are. Come, yeah, you want a hot meal?
Oh my God, that is hilarious. Now for the ladies who don't cook, because that was me. You wasn't getting a hot meal from me. Okay. I could order you some food. Okay. I'll pay for it even. But I was not the cook. So that was not my gift. I didn't hook, line, and sink my man from cooking. It wasn't my cup.
That's okay too. That is okay.
Yeah. But those are real things, right? And I like that because it's practical, right?
Hmm.
It's a we have to get to a place where we can't just look at being single and waiting as a woe is me. It's like, but if a man or a woman came today and was ready to marry me, am I even ready? Am I emotionally stable?
Yeah.
Am I mentally stable? Like, do I have, my own stuff in order to be able
Mhm.
to receive that individual? Can I cook? Do I know how to clean?
Yeah.
And I just want to
Mhm.
say this, that this doesn't just apply to women. So, fellas, if you're watching, your ability to cook, your ability to clean, like you should be able to bring all of those things to the table
Yes.
as well. Like, I'm
Mhm.
gonna tell you, like I just feel like the men of today need to know and understand. Like, we're not looking to come into your life and be your mama.
Mhm.
No, nobody wants to raise a husband. We're not looking to
Mhm.
raise husband.
No.
I feel like more and more, especially in this day and age, we're getting to the point because there was a period of time where I feel like women were willing to like build a man. Like it was
Mhm.
like, well, if I could just get him, then I could mold him and shape him and make him
Definitely.
the kind of man.
Mhm.
But that season is over. Okay,
No. Mm-mm.
these women of today are like, you either coming ready made or I ain't got the time, or the energy.
Mhm.
All that potential stuff is
Out the
starting
window.
to jump out the window. Like, times is hard. Things is expensive outside. Like, you're either really about it or you're not.
Yes. Like certain things like you just have to have. Like, and like you said, as women, we prepare ourselves for marriage, but men also have to do the same. Like they have to, a lot of men are just very, they don't, they ain't got it. Like they ain't got it. Like, so like, yeah, like basic things, if like as far as like being a provider, like these are things that women are looking for. Like
Mhm.
we are looking to be protected, to be like to feel like to feel like you got us, like, and to
Mhm.
really trust that you can that you can handle that in a marriage. So yes, men gotta work on that too. They definitely do.
Mhm. Now, let me ask you this, and your man is not here to speak for himself, so you're gonna have to speak on his behalf. Okay.
Hmm.
Obviously, he must be doing something right because you said yes. Okay.
Hmm.
So, can you talk a little bit about like what what are those things that you saw in him that made you feel confident to be able to say yes?
uh, so yes, I think it's a lot of things. Terrence is a, like, I really feel like he is like me. Like we are a lot alike. Like we not only just like do we like a lot of the same things, but we are also just like the way we view life is the same. Like
Mhm.
what we want in the future, like the way that we see ourselves, like raising children, the way that we see our,
Mhm.
like the way that we see ourselves in a marriage.
Mhm.
We just are very, we complement each other very well. Like we really
Nice.
do. Um, I think one of the things that I really love about him is how he loves others. Like he's such a good friend. He's such a good brother. He's such a good son. Like the way that he is with his mom, like just so many things that I'm like that I pray for in a man. He is he is those, all of those things. And
Mhm.
of course we have our thing. Like of course, like we have gone through, if anybody know me and Terrence's journey, it's been a journey for sure. But ultimately, like I remember we I remember one time we like decided to like go our separate ways. Like, and well, it was really me. I decided to go my separate way. I was like, I can't, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I don't think it's going to work. And when I say like, right after I got the phone with him and told him that, and just really like sitting there thinking to myself, like, am I really about to like have a life without him? Like, I can't even picture my life without him. Like,
Hmm.
I just could not. Like, and it didn't even hit me until after I got the phone. I felt like it was like, okay, this was real. Like, okay, this is real. And I'm like, I really broke down. Like, I just could not imagine my life without him. I just can't. And I knew then that this was my forever. Like,
Hmm.
this is my man. Like, this is my husband. This is like, I knew then, because I don't want to live a life without him. Like, I don't.
I get it. Listen, I heard a couple of things that you said in terms of like those nuggets that we could take away. When you're dating someone, your life desires should line up. Y'all
Hmm.
should be like-minded. You don't have to be exactly alike,
Right.
but having the same goals in life, the same aspirations. And I think a lot of times, particularly when we're younger, we don't really take the time to like consider those things because it's just like, oh, they're cute, they're this. But like gone
Hmm.
are the days where you could just look at someone and think, oh, there's a physical attraction and that's going to be enough to sustain us. Like,
Hmm.
so I need somebody that when times get hard, I can lock in with.
Exactly.
Them conflicts come, they're not just going to cut and run, or they're not going to, they may not be the best communicator, but are they willing to work on their communication, right?
Exactly.
Everything's not
Hmm.
always perfect, but like those are the things that like we hope to come at the best space we can be. But no matter what, we always come with baggage, right?
Yeah.
Him, her,
Hmm.
we always come with baggage, but are we willing to allow ourselves to be constantly transformed? Even right now, like you're engaged. This is a new phase of the relationship, right? There's things you're learning in engagement. There's gonna be things that after you get married, you're gonna learn some new lessons because I was just
Hmm.
telling somebody the other day that there's a saying, what got you here ain't gonna get you there. You know what I'm saying? Like them
Hmm.
them plates, them slide over here and come get you a plate. It got you in the door.
Right.
But the plates are not going to be the thing that keeps you in the door.
Hmm.
That's not good when y'all are fussing and fighting, or going, dealing with whatever you're dealing with. Like it's not just going to be, oh, come get a plate and then everything's, washed under the
Hmm.
rug. Like we
Right.
need to be looking for people who we can like. I could go toe to toe with you, but I know I have confidence that we're going to be good at the end of it.
Hmm.
You know.
Yes.
So I also heard you said that he just emulated the things that you were praying for. And I can remember it's so funny, right before I met my husband, I remember writing to God and I even put it in an email and I said, Lord God, look, like this is, if knowing what I know now from all the relationships that I've had, which
Hmm.
wasn't many, but it was enough to give me enough context. I said these are the qualities and the things that I want in a man, and I'm
Yeah.
just grateful, that the Lord answered me expeditiously. Um, but it made me think of, you remember when Sierra put out her prayer?
Hmm. Yep. I don't think none of us will forget that.
So
Yes.
so not that I'm not asking you to tell us what was specifically in your prayer, but how did you go about preparing or writing or thinking about what you wanted to go ahead and ask God for?
Hmm. Yes. So I think hearing Sierra's prayer and just her being so specific about the things that she wanted in a husband, I think that kind of like lit something in me, because I'm like, you do have to be specific about the qualities that you want. Like you really do. So I really prayed for exactly what I wanted. Like I knew I wanted a man who I knew I wanted a husband that came from a big family because I don't have a lot of family. Like I knew I wanted that, like, to be a part of a big family. Like I
Mm-hmm.
wanted somebody who was close with his mom, not a mama's boy, but
Mm-hmm.
close to his mom, respect his mom,
Mm-hmm.
someone who was a protector. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have to feel like I said, like you are going to hold us down.
Mm-hmm.
Like when if I don't have I sometimes I tell Terrence, like I don't want to have to worry about anything. I want to make I like because I know you got me. Like protector is a big one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Had to be God fearing. Had to be like that was non-negotiable. Like um I think that was like some big ones for me. Like
Mm-hmm.
really like family oriented, really like a protector. Had to have faith. Had to believe in God. Had to have faith.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, those were really big things for me.
Yep. Yep. Because when you think about us as believers, like, ooh, that God fearing is and I love that you said God fearing and not just goes to church. Because I
Mm,
think
yeah.
sometimes we be we think we're being specific because we go, oh, I want them to go to church or whatever. No, sis.
It ain't about church.
No,
Honestly, for
bro.
me, like it's not about church for me because I didn't go to church for the longest. Like, but I've always been spiritual. I've always pray. I've always been God fearing. Like it's not about church because honestly, God is with me. Like He's with us.
Mhm,
So that definitely wasn't what was important for me to go to
mhm,
church because a lot of people go to church and you don't know what that church done put in their head or anything. Like
mhm.
so,
Yep.
but you got to have your own like walking your own spirituality with God, and that's way more important to me.
Yep. God fearing. I love that because that says that you actually have a relationship with God, that you
Mhm.
know who He is, you know His word, you know what's acceptable,
Yes.
and you are reverencing Him. Because if you find a man or a woman who is that, because that's going to be ultimately what carries you, because sometimes
Hmm.
you may not be in church. You know,
Yeah.
if you move to a new city, you may not immediately get there and have a
Hmm.
church. I can't have a man who's all over the place or a woman who's all over the place and they can't get right. They don't know how to apologize. They don't feel no conviction. They
Hmm.
just say whatever, they do whatever, and there's no, you know, we have a moral standard just in society, but the moral standard of society, it's not tearing down walls.
Yeah.
It's not creating safety, because we live in a
Hmm.
society that is very selfish, and
Yeah.
it's me focused, and it's what feels good for me. Do you, boo boo? If you
Hmm.
like it, I love it. Like, no, you
Hmm.
don't. You hate
Yeah.
it.
Right. Exactly. I hate that saying. If you like it, I hate that. Like, okay.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I say if you like it, I love it. Most of the times, I'm just saying okay, like I'm just kind of giving you over to your own self, because if you like it,
Hmm.
I love it. Really, basically means like, yeah, I don't love this, but
Yeah.
okay.
Like,
I mean,
like,
I can't
like,
argue with you. I can't make you feel a way or like a certain thing. So, like,
mhm.
it's on you. You got it, boo boo. Do you? All right. Well,
Yeah.
we're almost up here at time. So I want you to get out, like, what would be the last thing, last couple things you would say when we talk about like loving beyond the walls and loving God and loving self and loving others? Like, how would you encourage individuals who are single? Like, what's the last, take your time, tell the people what you feel like you want them to know about just journeying through singleness to engagement.
I would say really just I would say trust your journey. Like when people really say like your everybody's journey is different, nobody's look the same, like that is really a true testament. Like it really is like trust your journey, trust that you are your life is going to be personalized towards you. Like it's not going to look like anybody else's. But as long as you pray for what you want, trust and have faith that it will come, that is that's all you need. Stay prayed up. Stay keep the faith and then really just trust your journey.
Yeah, I love that. Trust. Trust, trust, trust. Hope,
Mhm.
faith, trusting, believing, and leaning on the one with the master plan. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Brea. I've
Thank
been
you.
so blessed to have you here to share your journey. Thank you for all that you've been willing to share with us. I pray somebody who's watching just feels encouraged. And like I said, you know, if you don't hear from nobody else this month, if you don't get no flowers, no cards, no chocolate, you don't go on no date, we want you to know that we love you with the love of
Yes.
God and that you got to hang on in there. And like my good sis said, listen, find you a singles venue to go to. There's Galentine's, Family Times. People nowadays are doing more to celebrate each other in the midst of singleness than they used to
Mhm.
back in the day. If you want to be found and you want to, find you a place to get to, okay? Look
Yes.
for a church with a single women's or single men's ministry and see if y'all can link up. We be friends. Like, come on, like you got to get outside. You're
Get
not going to
outside.
find anybody or be found by anybody by sitting on in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Amen. Yes.
Amen. So thank you so much, Brea, for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yay, I'm excited. All right, y'all. I want to just thank you so much for joining us this week. Again, I want you to I want you to share the broadcast. You can't really comment no more because the show is over. But listen, tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody that they are loved by God, by us, and that we want them to just know that in this month to be encouraged. Don't let depression or sadness or anything
Yes.
like that get you down. Just know that you are enough. And in God's time, you will find the one that is meant specifically just for you. So we love you.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.